Yeah, because right now we're not showing. Oh, now we are. Okay.
I mean, I feel like your look today is giving like chili from TLC.
Oh, really?
Do people talk about that?
I've only gotten that like a couple times. The one I've gotten a lot before is
Is it
Ashley.
Melanie Fiona?
Who?
Melanie Fiona.
I'm
You look
so
so much like her.
I'm gonna be honest. I do
Good.
not know what Melanie Fiona looks like. I don't. I can't even picture her face.
You guys let us know in the chat if y'all think Shawnee's lookalike is Melanie Fiona.
Who
Oh,
would you about to say, Shani?
I get Ashley from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air sometimes, depending on the day.
Definitely.
I really
Yeah.
don't.
Okay.
I wish I knew her actual name though.
I could definitely see that. What do you get, Shay, on celebrity lookalike?
I used to get um what's her name? She would play Craig's sister in Friday. I mean, she played in 1,000 movies. That sounds crappy. I don't know her name. Regina King.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see
And
it.
I can see
recently,
that.
I got Kiki Palmer.
You got keep.
Really?
I feel like it's more my personality because I don't think we actually.
Look like. I don't think you guys look alike. Both beautiful, but
Yeah. I don't see Kiki Palmer. I can see the other one. And I told you, you kind of give me. You don't look like her, but you kind of remind me of the girl Andy from Sisters.
Oh yeah, I can see that though. What
Yeah. Yeah.
who
okay.
you get, me?
I look like I always get Gabrielle Union or Rudy Huxtable.
Not Rudy Huxtable.
When I was younger, I used to get Rudy Huxtable, but now I usually get Gabrielle Union.
That's hilarious.
And then every time I get that compliment, I be all hyped. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks, Tay. So, is it coming across? Is it buffering? Is it fairly clear on your ends? I don't know.
It's pretty good.
Looks good.
It's all good now. All right, thanks, Tay.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, so in that case, we will go ahead and get started. Uh, so again, welcome back. Um, how are your guys' weeks?
It's a good week. It was cool.
My week was a bomb all week. Every day I was like, oh, this shit happening. My best friend, she got some good news. She got a new job. She moving and stuff. So I just been feeling like we moving. Like I don't know. Like her life been so lit. It's just been making me feel like life lit. Like I mean,
You
it's
guys,
been
Yeah,
inspiring.
congratulations to Ray.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was saying I feel like it was Bianca I was talking to recently, but like there's this thing that say when people near you, it's like basically good things is happening for them, like they win the lottery, get new job, get promotions. That basically is a sign that your manifestations is close off. So you should always like be so happy for your friends and
Yeah.
it'll be you soon.
I already
Yes.
know.
I love that
But
energy.
I'm one of those people who just genuinely happy for my friends and family, regardless. Like when literally, if something good happens to my friends and family, I embody that shit. Like me, like we in there. Like I just feel it.
Facts though. Literally, literally today, Bianca came in like, yeah, you know what? I think I might move, and I'm like, okay, wait, this is too much happening at once. Like I can't keep up, but
Oh yeah, I decided today, yo, I'm moving. I'm just telling y'all public because you know the more you just put stuff out there and say it and like the more I'm trying to draw it to me. I'm moving, y'all. I decided today.
so my week was well, and we hope that all of you had a great week as well. Hopefully, some of the people that were in here before will make their way back in. We apologize for the tech issues. Just figuring out. This is only our what third or fourth stream, you guys, as like a group.
Maybe
Third.
that
Third. So we're still newbies. Still some newbies figuring it out. So thank you guys for all of your support and just the advice in the comments. But anything else that you guys wanted to discuss before we hop into this week in the news?
No.
One thing really quickly I wanted to mention because it's not a slide. in our weekly recap. But you guys know, literally every week we've been keeping y'all abreast of the Quavo and Saweetie just quarrel. And well, Bianca, do you want to say what was reported most recently? Because I honestly don't even remember.
Um, so apparently there was a release clip of a Quavo song where he made his line, "She sneaky, so I took the she dirty and sneaky, so I took the Bentley" or something like that, implying that he took the Bentley back. Last week we had reported that actually the team has said he did not take the Bentley back, but then in this song he made a clip as if implying that he did take the Bentley back. But you know, Sweetie has her own YouTube channel and she makes skits, so she did this skit called Frenemies. And in the skit, the friend had stole her car keys. She was like, "Where are my keys at? Like, where I can't find it." And then like when they find the key, when the frenemy has the keys behind her back, they zoom in on the Bentley key though. So I just feel like it's all like, PR. Let's keep talking about it back and forth. Every week since they broke up, it's been something.
Well, you know our favorite slogan, no press is bad press. So at this point, it's like they're just keeping the story going so that they can stay in the headlines. It's like beneficial for both of them. I think Migos got a new project coming out. Sweetie always doing something. So
Yeah,
it's working.
it's
Yeah,
working
I
for
was
sure.
actually going to pose that question at this point. Again, you guys, we don't know them. We're not a part of their teams. We don't really know what's going on. But out of curiosity, do you think that any of this was part of a PR just stunt in general?
Do you think the whole thing was a PR stunt? Like maybe they wasn't never together?
No, I definitely think they were together. Um, I think
Do
they were
you think the
together. I don't know if
breakup
I
was a
believe
PR
the
stunt?
breakup. Yeah.
But you think they gonna come back together, or you think that yeah?
I could see them coming back together. Or I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they really are done, but I don't know. I think it's interesting that since it came out, they've had something, to keep it up. I was telling someone else, I was like, it's just enough to keep you interested, but not too much where you're just like, I'm tired of hearing about it. Like they need to let it go.
Mm-mm.
So we'll see. All right,
Agreed.
so we can go ahead and get right into it. So I will pull it up. Give me 1 second. All right. So this week, obviously, the top story this week was obviously the tragic loss of Earl DMX Simmons, who passed away a few days ago. If you, I mean, I feel like everyone should know who DMX is. And like I said on another platform, if you don't know who DMX is, honestly, you're probably too young to be watching this. Like, just, just keeping it,
Period.
just keeping it real with you. But yeah, so obviously there were reports earlier when DMX was taken to the hospital. We were told it was a drug induced heart attack. From there on, it was kind of being monitored for brain activity. There had been like a few days where there was no brain activity reported, and he passed away this past week at age 50. DMX, he dominated the hip hop charts in the late 90s, early 2000s. And if you don't know anything about DMX, you probably most know him for the Rough Riders anthem, which, I mean, everybody knows the anthem. So just wanted to say our condolences to his friends, family, loved ones, and really just anybody who feels impacted by his loss. Like, we talk about music on here every week, and we know that even though we don't know artists, sometimes their music resonates with us so much that they really do become an integral part of our lives and our developments and our memories. So um, we understand if you were someone that was, deeply affected about this. Did any of you have something to share or any like personal experiences with like his music or anything about DMX?
Yeah, I mean, I felt pretty sad about it because it just was like you hear things in the media sometimes about DMX related to the drugs, but you don't think about him as a drug addict or user, and you kind of think that he always going to be okay or something like that. So it was just a little bit shocking to see that he didn't make it to me. And I feel like I've been listening to him since forever because my mom was a fan. Like I love like Eve, and if you guys know Swiss Beats, that he is a product of Rough Riders as well. So yeah, like rest in peace to him. And same thing as Shirley said, just like praying for his loved ones and anybody that feel impacted by it.
Me too. I don't really have much to add besides everything that you guys just said. What you guys just said. I was
Hey guys, yeah, don't worry about me. Minor technical dilemma over here. So where do we leave off?
girl. On to the next topic. We was talking about DMX.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that. All right, so next up on the docket is Target. So, Target actually released something earlier this week stating that they were going to be spending $2 billion on black businesses, as well as, I believe, adding products from over 500 black owned businesses to their stores. Now, I honestly, when I saw this headline, I felt pretty pleased with what I was reading. How did you guys feel when you first saw this?
I feel like that. I feel like I like that they were committing to increasing black representation at Target, and to be real, like even before like everything that happened, Target they used to come through with the black lines. Like they would have black lines, and then they Black History collection. Even before that was a thing, they always had. I feel like Target was always rocking with the people,
Mm-hmm.
or at least trying to express that, hey, we see you, we here, we trying to show that we trying to help the people. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with you, B. I think that Target has always been trying to push to have more black representation. They probably have a lot of black execs and stuff like that. They seem like a really good business as far as that stuff is concerned. I'm like more interested as far as like the brands and stuff that they're gonna be putting in the store. Is this like all type of products across the board? Like if I sell vacuums, are you gonna put my vacuum cleaner in Target?
Yeah.
People don't realize, but all of these things are just manufactured, and I can own any type of company. So, is these like black-owned businesses, or are these like people that invented a product? Like, what specifically are they doing? Is this going to be a black aisle thing? Is this going to be more Walmart or something? And it's um, like the black section.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just I want to know more. Like, are they not gonna do that? Like,
I don't feel like they're gonna do that because I feel like they gotta know we don't like that, right? Because I don't like that either. I feel like it's gonna be spread out, like you know, skincare lines, just some black skincare lines in the skincare line. What else? The honey pot, things like that. Just I feel like it's gonna be things like that.
Well, I hope so. Although I will say there is a very well known page on Instagram called the 15% Pledge. And they actually pointed out that the $2 billion that Target has committed to giving is only about 1% or less than 1% of their total revenue in 2020. They were pretty much trying to make the point that they felt like Target should be doing more. And they were like really, really going hard. And to kind of piggyback off something that you two were just saying, another thing that an article pointed out was that some of the black owned products that they showcase are now not black owned. You know what I mean? Because they were black founded, but those were eventually sold off to other companies. So I agree with you. I'm definitely interested to see exactly what the criteria is. Like, how are they? I don't know. How does someone submit for their product to be in the store? What are they looking at? Um, and like I said, I know a lot of people were saying that Target should be doing more, but I hate to say this, but I feel like sometimes we just kind of have to take what we get and then
Take
continue
what
to.
we can get. And
Facts.
it's not even take what we could get. I feel like instead of saying take what we can get, I feel like we should say we should just acknowledge that they're trying. Acknowledge that they did something.
yeah, and continuously working towards creating our own spaces and our own brands where we don't have to rely on them to give us opportunities or seats at tables and things like that. And supporting the brands that support us. I mean, if you want to really be a person that supports black people, black business, buy directly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I agree. Well, next up is Forbes. So, as you guys know, Forbes has lists all the time: 30 under 30, billionaires, millionaires. And most recently, Forbes actually released an article sharing that over 400, I actually believe it was like close to 500 people became billionaires from the pandemic year. Some of them like officially claiming that status this year. So, obviously, one was Tyler Perry, Whitney Wolf Herd, which she is the founder of the dating app Bumble, and also Kim Kardashian. So, ladies, did you guys have any thoughts on just that alone or the people? Because I was kind of like, there were people out here full on struggling, and
Well, when I read the article, I read that at least 40 of those brand new billionaires were made because of COVID-19 related products that were sold during the pandemic. So, of course. And most of the billionaires were actually half of them, like 205 of them were actually in China this year. And five of those were just off vaping products, stressed out, quarantine, people vaping up a storm, I guess, because they didn't vape millionaires.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I was not surprised by some of the people who made the list. Like, I feel like that was a given that Tyler Perry made the list. Like, not shocked. Bumble, like, first of all, everybody is on dating apps that is dating. Even people that is not seriously dating, even people that barely open the app, almost everybody that is single has a dating account. So I can imagine between the actual subscription and then people just, you know,
because
buying more products inside the Bumble.
not that I know about it, but it's $8.99. It's super, so you can see who liked you before you like them. And I feel like people be on that and they be boosting. I'm just saying that I could definitely see how people was making money off of that.
yeah, especially when you think about the fact that like once everything happened, you couldn't go out on dates and meet people like the organic way. So it definitely forced or drove a lot of people to dating apps. And for
And
those of
all
you,
the apps were like converting to like with code messages like, do you want to? Are you mass contact friendly? Are you trying to meet in person?
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It says like at the top, before you even interact, would you be interested in meeting people? Would you mask?
yeah. Do you
Are
want
you
like
virtual
virtual?
friendly? So that
Yeah,
basically they can match you with people that have that same vibe.
yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. I haven't been on a dating app in so long. Like, it's been such a long time. In the chat, let us know if you are. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Oh, Tay said I need that app. So, one thing about Bumble, really quickly, obviously, we were talking about how people became billionaires, but since we're on the topic of dating apps, I heard about Bumble and I think it was nice because it's like the one app, it may have changed now, but to me it was kind of revolutionary in like dating app world because I want to say Bumble was the one where the woman had to,
Send the message. Yeah.
yeah.
So I like that too because, well, I did like that when I was using dating apps. I be going through phases with dating apps. I ain't never had no success on the dating app either. I must be honest, but no, that's not true. But anyway, when I was on the dating apps, um, damn, I totally lost my train of thought and forgot where I was going with that. What did you just say?
Wait, the good thing too about Bumble is that it's not just for remote romantic dating. You can do platonic dating on there, and you can also
Yeah,
network professionally. So you can
Oh,
join as a business person trying to network for business. You can join because you're looking for friends. So like if you move
yeah.
to the area or whatever happened in your life that you're friends with, then you
Oh,
can.
I was just gonna say I like that the women are the ones to initiate the message, so it don't seem so like not to
Predatory.
be, like guys be sending guys. Sometimes y'all be sending the approach is just not there. It's like rocky. Like it feels like I don't know. But anyway, with the woman being able to send the message first, it's like I get to be interested, and then if I know you interested too, because even though the women send the message first or whatever, you still have to match to be able to send the message.
Mm-hmm.
So at least the person is like interested in you as well. And then you have the power to say something. But in my last phase of dating apps, I went for that because I'm the person who just let the dating app sit on my phone and let the people come to me. So I'm just like, so I don't use that no more. So I had switched to Hinge because on Hinge, people could just like
About
you.
Hinge.
You said what?
I said I think I told you about Hinge.
Yeah, you did tell me about Hinge, but because on Hinge, people like you. I could just look and X, keep it moving. Somebody send me a message or a comment, I could look and keep it moving. I like that for me now.
I really like Hinge better than Bumble. I actually got into my last two relationships for meeting somebody on Hinge. So like I think it's cool. I feel like it's the greatest thing. It's an organized way to date. Your time is not being wasted. You don't have to meet nobody. The profile is so detailed, the things that they like and don't like. You can pretty much see if you're gonna be compatible or not. And then if the conversation dry, you ain't never gotta talk to that person again. It's so
That is true. They do got like right up front, which you would kind of just be like looking for. You just little scroll.
okay. Well, if I'm ever in the market, if anyone's in the market of dating apps, those are two right there, Bumble and Hinged. So check those out. But yeah, so there are tons, really quickly, just with this one we wanted to share. Obviously, we know all the time people have business ideas and they're like, no, like there are a million other people doing that. Some of those, the businesses or the people or companies that reached over $1 billion, there are other companies out there that provide the exact same services, the exact same products, but they were still able to hit $1 billion. So just don't let that stop you
determined.
from following your goals of entrepreneurship or whatever your career goal is. So wanted to throw that out there.
Hey, do y'all think that Kim is back the favorite daughter again now that she is more wealthy than Kylie?
We'll see.
I don't think so. I think low key, I feel like Kylie is going to remain the
The favorite.
favorite only because like Kylie's younger, so she has a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot more time to do a lot more by the time she gets Kim's age. So we'll see though. So next up is Bravo Kids. So not too long ago on, I want to say he announced it on Watch What Happens Live. Andy Cohen, I don't know what is his official title. Is he the creator, or is he just like, is he the creator of the Real Housewives franchise?
I want
He's
to say
the creator of the Real Housewives franchise. Yeah.
And he
right,
produces it.
but she is the producer though.
Yeah.
And if you guys aren't sure who Andy is or what Real Housewives is, it's pretty much a franchise that has shows in different states, specific cities across the nation where, to be honest, they're not always housewives. Sometimes they be like girlfriends or exes of just like wealthy people in the city, honestly. Um, so, Bianca or Shay, do you guys want to talk more about Bravo Kids and what's happening there?
I can. So Andy Cohen announced on last week that they're taking a series with the children from the popular Real Housewives. There's a lot of kids on there that I didn't really know, but there was some kids on there that I would be interested in seeing what they had to say, just because I grew up watching their shows like Teresa Judice. I don't watch the Real House of Wives of New Jersey currently, but I still remember her daughter Gia, and I would be interested in seeing what Gia has to say about their what was going on. They had juicy drama. Her dad got deported. Her mom got a new man. She going to college. Like, it's a lot going on. Then they got who else they got on there? Kim Zolciak daughter. Lil Brielle. She was basically mini Kim when she was a teenager anyway. So I'm dying to see what she at now in her early 20s. And then they got Riley, Candy's daughter on here. So like I feel like, and then they got Noelle too. These are some Bravo kids that I would be interested in, especially since I'm not really interested in their mama storylines no more. So let me see what's going on with y'all.
I was just about to say, if any of you guys are past watchers of the Four Brown Chicks, then you guys already know where we stand with the Housewives franchise. We pretty much done with it. There's nothing else to be said. Get these old ladies off the stage. I think this is a fresh take on the series, but I'm really interested to see how it is that the kids is going to be portrayed. What are we going to be seeing in their lives? Are we going to be seeing their business, them going to school? Is it really going to be related to their family?
Well, I feel like this first one is just really a special, and I feel like it's with so many different kids, it may be like a 2 or 3 part. And I feel like what they want us to do is gauge interest. Like, are we watching it? What did they say? And I feel like if the specials go well, then they'll come full, series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Andy pretty much said it was going to be a Watch What Happens live special, but he also alluded to the fact that there are some other moms from some of the other franchises that are wondering, why wasn't my child chosen? So I'm curious to see what type of drama that might stir up between the moms as well. They had to do something because the show was just getting, it's tired, in my opinion. The only one I
Mm,
can
they
still really
should
watch
do it like
is
the Hills. Sorry,
no,
that
you're
was a good
fine.
guy.
It's
That should do
Potomac.
it like that. Yeah.
The Hills, yeah. Did you guys hear that the Hills was
Ball
actually scripted? Was it the Hills that was scripted actually, and we thought it was a reality show, or
What?
Oh, you talking about Laguna Beach?
Laguna
Laguna
Beach?
Beach.
That's what
Yeah,
it
that's what
was.
it was. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Hmm.
So will you? Are you guys checking this out? The Bravo Kids special?
Yeah, I just told you I want to see what my little homegirl's up to.
Okay. I probably won't, but y'all let me know.
Okay.
Just being honest.
I'm going to talk about it on the B side review.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so next up on the docket, and I really don't have much for this story, is Sayonara Sharon Osbourne. In case you missed it, Sharon Osbourne exited the talk last week after allegations of racist behavior shot through the internet and news outlets, honestly. But it's actually reported, CBS reported that Sharon decided to leave the show, even though there were rumors prior to her exit that she might have been getting the snip, and she's walking away with anywhere from 5 million to 10 million payout actually after hosting the show for 11 years. So, ladies, thoughts on this?
Well, we know Sharon Osbourne because obviously her husband is a famous musician. They had a whole reality TV series that lasted for many years for MTV. If you ain't see that, then you're probably too young to be watching this as well.
Cause even
But
I seen that,
ain't
and
the
I don't
first.
even mess with the Osborne.
Yeah, this ain't the first time she's been accused of any type of racist behavior. This is ongoing. There's several black women that have came out since this incident that said when they worked with her, she was specifically racist towards them. And this is not new. Like, get her old self out of here. Like, what is I feel like all these programs need to be replaced with new, fresh audience that are open minded, that are accepting of all the different things that's going on in our community, whether it's race related or our sexuality or gender. Like, we tired of hearing these opinions.
What Shay said. Yeah, I feel like Sharon, like she, I don't like how I feel like she actually got a deal in a way. Like she was over to show her ass and then still walk away with $10 million, and then she still can just talk about. She probably gonna put this in the book because she also got the rights to talk about the situation. She probably just gonna put this in the book, make some more money on it, and then go about her life. And then people just gonna sweep this on the rug and we gonna forget. But I did think it was interesting that the talk went on hiatus, even though she supposedly quit. The talk went on hiatus, but they're coming back on Monday tomorrow, and their first conversation is going to be with a diversity, equality, inclusion, and justice expert, and they're going to be discussing advice on how to heal after a painful event or conversation.
Love
And I
that.
don't watch the talk, but I actually want to see a clip from that because I'm interested to see what's up, what they gonna.
Yeah, there was some words passed between some of the hosts, like Cheryl Underwood. She said she claims that, okay, Sharon Osbourne says that she issued an apology, that she actually reached out and called her co-host apologizing. They like, no, that's not true. So then there's like that outside drama too from the story. And I think that this is just CBS way to show like they are allies with the other members of the show, specifically the black ones. And CBS, they have a lot of shows that have black audience or whatever. So I feel like they just paid him that money and was like, okay, you go away, and then we just gonna come back and rebrand ourselves and let these people know that we are here for them.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing for a workplace environment though. Like, I wish all the time somebody was racist to me at work, they have some training.
Right.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie. This one time at my job, we had like a diversity, inclusion, blah 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 event after everything that happened last year, and somebody was in the comments like, "I still don't understand why this is necessary," and I'm like, "Well,
and the fact of the matter is, a
here's the
lot of
reason
times,
why it's necessary right here."
yeah, a lot of times with situations like this, unless it's someone's reality, it really is difficult for them to put their selves in someone else's shoes to understand how it may actually impact them. But I agree, like what Bianca said. I normally do not watch the talk, but I probably will check in just to see what the conversation is like. And I'm really hoping that they make it something impactful, and you know, it's not just like all right, let's just throw this together real quick. We're gonna ask two questions and then we'll do our normal show type of deal. So
It's like we addressed it. Let's move on. That's what I feel like it could be.
I hope
absolutely,
that's not it though.
Yeah.
I agree. But I will say we are moving on from Sharon for now. And another big thing that hit the news this week was Apple investing $50 million in United Masters. Now, for those of you who do not know what United Masters is, it is a music distribution app or service, so to speak. They help independent artists get their music on major streaming platforms, as well as placements on TV, movies, and even video games. They actually did something with 2K recently, which was really, really nice. So a lot of independent artists, their music was actually featured on 2K, which if you're a video gamer, you know that's a big deal. Um, so thoughts on this news?
I love it. I'm here for it. I love. I am becoming a person who loves non-mainstream artists more than I like the mainstream artists. So I like hearing the diversity in the content. I'm glad they're getting the opportunity to put their music out there and don't have to be restricted to like music labels and, all the horror stories that we hear about the music industry. So I like that.
Yeah, me too. I feel like we know what the music industry is like. We know all the past years of people getting these bad deals and terrible contracts, and still to this day, they're in bad deals and contracts. And the only way they're able to really make money is through like, sponsorships and ads and stuff like that. There's no money in having a record label really because all they do is give you some upfront money that you're gonna have to keep paying back later that you ain't never gonna be able to afford to pay.
Hmm.
All the money is in streaming now. I feel like this is a great opportunity for people and for Apple to do that. It's really good.
I agree. And for those of you who don't know, because Shay just pointed out a really good part is about a lot of times with signing to a record label, as you've heard in the news, a lot of times artists do not own like the masters or really the rights to their music. So one really cool thing about United Masters is that the artists do give United Masters 10% of their revenue, but in exchange they get distribution that they wouldn't have had on their own. And they get to still own all the rights to their music, which means that they can do what they choose with their music. They're not tied in for years. They're not missing out on additional money. So I think it was really great to see Apple supporting and investing in United Masters. And I'm really hoping that the music industry goes that route a little bit more. I'm sure there are cons to it, just like there are cons to being with a record label as well. But
Yeah.
from what I see on the front end, there appears to be more pros than cons. So excited for a
Yeah,
change.
yeah, for sure.
Now, with more music mayhem, Peloton and Versus actually just entered a year-long partnership. Now, Shay, I know you were like really excited about this one, so do you want to share what's going on?
So if you guys are alive and have a pulse and was during quarantine, then you know about the versus battles. It originally just started as something to entertain people during quarantine between Swiss Beats and Timbaland, who are two music producers and well renowned. So they are in collaboration now with Peloton, which is, for lack of better words, an exercise company. They have so many different equipment across the board, but what is special about them is that they have a lot of technology between their exercise equipment. Last year they did that huge deal with Beyonce. So they are on fire right now, and I feel like this is a huge deal both for the music industry because this is artists that we listened to growing up and stuff, and they really kind of fell off, to be honest. If we being honest about most of the versus artists, it's like they're classic people, but they don't have new music coming out. So this was a daytime to shine, get some record play, all that. So this is really cool for people to, I feel like, hear music that wasn't from their time, and then also be working.
And I'm really excited about it too because we know that the consumer base for Peloton is extremely diverse. So there is a chance that people who may not have heard some of these artists, like to Shay's point, some of them are not putting out new music. They may not have necessarily come across specific songs or specific artists. And I believe they did say that all of the previous verses playlist, so to speak, will be available through Peloton. And they actually have like I saw at least three Peloton and Versus specific workout classes coming out over the course of the next month. So if you have a Peloton, check it out. Let us know. I want one, but I mean, they're
If
kind of
anybody want to
expensive,
if
baby.
anybody want to buy me a Peloton, let me know. I manifest that for like a year now, but don't worry about it. I'm gonna get one by the year. I want a Peloton so
But you guys should know, you're a little homegirls. You guys should know that you can use Peloton programs on any software. You don't have to have a Peloton bike or any other equipment. You can have access to their features. So you could be doing at home workout, gym workout, whatever, and still pay to stream your services. So that's out there.
Now, really quickly, just because we're on the topic of verses, and I do want to say really quickly, thank you for the follow, Styles and Myatis. Sorry, I probably
Mhm.
butchered those, but thank you guys for following. We hope you enjoy everything. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. But really quickly, verses. So we did not have a chance to discuss this before, but as you guys know, Versus recently went into a deal with Triller. Have you guys? I've known some people said that they were having technical issues when trying to watch the verses on like the is it Triller or is it Thriller? I don't Triller, right?
Yeah.
Triller. Have you guys tried watching it on that app and have you experienced that as well?
I
Wait, so
haven't
it's not
watched
on
the verses on
Triller?
Triller.
No.
I don't
No,
even have Triller.
No.
me neither.
Yeah.
I thought Triller was just another app, kind of like TikTok, but the only thing is that you can upload your own sounds to it. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not. I can't keep up. Like I barely can work. I can't barely work TikTok. That's why I don't be on there. Like it's just like it's too much. I'm getting too old.
Oh, stop it. We got to stay fresh, y'all.
Oh, y'all
I
know
was
who
just
is.
curious.
Y'all know who is cold with the TikTok edits though.
Your daughter.
My daughter. She's 7. They're great. They amaze me sometimes. I'm like, oh snaps.
That's so real. Well, let us know if you guys have still been checking out the versus battles. I know. I think the most recent one was it was a good one too. Classic.
The Earth, Wind, and Fire and Ronald Isley.
But
But you're contagious. Hush me, baby.
really quickly though, real quick. Sorry to get off topic. I now that I'm older, I have issues with that. I have concerns about that song and the lyrics. First off, you're contagious. Touch me, baby. Give me what you got. Why do I want? Why, why do I want what? I don't know.
What do you have?
Let's start there. First off,
Like,
She said
I
she's
might not
sweet.
want it. No, like,
That's what's contagious. She's hot,
she's hot.
and
Mm,
that's what he trying to catch. He trying to catch the hot girl.
okay, because you know it's another term for
it's
being hot
okay.
out here,
Whatever he's
baby.
trying to say, it's a vibe. Okay, I don't care. I ain't wish on you. Whatever he's trying to say, when I feel it, I be yes, you're contagious.
I need to know. Someone said love is contagious. That's what they say, is
Yes. Is
it? Is it? No, I'm just kidding. All right,
Maybe
so
like a smile
it?
or
Somebody
I don't
sneeze it
know.
on me.
please do. Next week, Bianca be on here. Baby, it's you. You. Love on top. All right, so switching from all of our music headlines, of course, you guys know we always love to give you a little bit of music talk. But this week, we're switching it up. Instead of a specific song, we're actually, woo, words, talking about our playlist, what we've been listening to this week, if you have a specific playlist. So, really quickly, we're going to start with this one because this is probably one that no one is listening to, if I'm being honest. So for me this week, I don't know if you guys know what singing bowls are. I wish I would have had one on standby here to show. But singing bowls come in very different forms. They have crystal ones. They have ones that are made from like metals. But this in particular, the singing bowls, they play solfeggio frequencies. The best way I can describe this is everyone knows that sound is a source of energy, right? That's why when you listen to certain music, they make you feel a certain way. They bring back certain thoughts. They literally have the ability, songs, to shift the way you feel on a conscious and subconscious level. So, singing bowls and solfeggio frequencies are pretty much the exact same thing, but the bowls, they don't have words. And most of the music that is composed, they don't have words either. Sometimes you may be able to find them with like affirmations over them. Um, but each frequency is believed to help heal, transform, or clear like specific blockages from your body, your aura, or your environment. So, if you are interested in what that sounds like, you can literally, if you have Apple Music, you can look up Singing Bowls. This is a playlist I've been listening to. And you will see what I've been listening to this week. Specifically, I love any of the Meditative Mind um, playlists. So you can look at that on Apple Music, Spotify, even on YouTube. So if you search Meditative Mind, you will hear the frequencies that I've been balancing my chakras with this week. Have you either of you guys listen? Do you guys listen to solfeggio frequencies at all, or any type of singing bowl stuff? I feel like Shay, you probably do for sure.
Yeah, I definitely do for sure. My favorite though is the binaural beat. which has the same flow like Shani said. Music is an instrument of transmutation. So if that music tells you that you feel sad, all of a sudden you start feeling sad too, and you can't help but think about sad thoughts. And if that music tells you to be happy and dance and sing, then all of a sudden you start feeling like you want to dance and sing and be happy. So, we have to be very conscious of the things that we take in and all this stuff like that. So the more that I listen to that stuff, the better. I love the frequencies. It's one that I've been tapped into now, which is a money frequency, because I started getting into like numerology with my meditation, and it's 5206419. If y'all care about that, they are just, you could literally just say the number, or you could listen to like the meditation, which has that aura and it transmutes your energy. Like, I love it. I'll definitely check out this playlist.
Yeah, I listen to Sambo, like different meditations and stuff on Insight Timer though. I guess I've never looked for them on Apple Music, but Insight Timer is a meditation app that I use, and they be having different. There's actually a music section, so I listen to them on there.
Nice. So that's what I've been listening to. And next playlist is High Maintenance. Who been listening to High Maintenance?
Shay,
I'm about to get ready to have a hot girl summer. Feel like so good about myself and my life, and I feel like that's all the music I've been listening to lately is music that make me feel like I'm going to have a luxury life. That is where I manifest. And like I said last week, right now I'm just in the hip hop vibe. So this playlist has nothing but hip hop, mostly women, music empowerment. So we thinking Meg The Stallion, City Girls, Sweetie, just that vibe to get you feeling yourself and in a good vibration.
I support it.
I am definitely gonna have to check this out because sometimes you come across songs and you try to make your own playlist. So I have
Yeah.
like some of the people that you just mentioned, and when I looked at this playlist, it's some of the songs. But honestly, the songs on this playlist they were looking fire, and it looks because it's an Apple one, as you can see on this image, they update it every Friday. So I like that they also update the playlist on Apple too.
Shay make fire playlist. I don't know if we ever mentioned that. Shay make bomb playlist, and I feel like you can find them on Apple Music if you are looking for them. I have like 5 of her playlists saved on my phone. They don't
Hmm.
disappoint.
They're so good, you guys. Check them out for
Yeah.
sure. Now the next one, oh, this is a custom playlist. Okay, mood. Bianca, tell us about the mood playlist.
Well, y'all know my mood always spicy for real or whatever, and I'm a R&B type girl. But this playlist gives me like I like to play this in the background if I'm trying to create an ambiance or mood, getting dressed. Because I too plan on having dates and trips. Dates and trips. That's my hot girl summer. Like that's what this music can be played as I get ready for that date, and it also can play when I'm on that date. You know what I'm saying? Like transfers. Also, there's a song on there. It's on the playlist. It is not related to the rest of the playlist. But my favorite song of the week is called I Do Everything. And it's by I like this song because he be talking his shit about everything that he do. And I just love the way he literally be talking on the whole song. Like I do everything. Can you play the drums? I can play that. Can you play the and it's just the flow of how he say everything. I am really into confidence in music. And I feel like I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but like if y'all know me, I'm a bad bitch. My name is Bianca. I'm confident, blah blah blah. But that's because I used to have hella low self-esteem. It took me forever to get to this point that I am now and to like be firm in it. Like I would be like, oh yeah, like no, I'm okay. Like, oh no. No, I'm finally at the point where I'm like, no, actually, I'm really like the shit for real. And I need energy around me that keeps me in that mode so that I don't ever have to go back to feeling like I'm not. So that's why I like that song because I too listen to this song and be like, I do everything. Like everything, everything. That's the chorus. I do everything, because I do. and I do it well. So that's why it's my song of the week.
That kind of remind me of that song by Tiana Taylor, Rose in Harlem. And she'd be like, "What you do, I do everything. I move everything."
Yeah.
Put that
Like,
on my
yeah,
baby name. Put that. I love that
Yeah.
song.
I like songs like that. Let these people know. And really quickly, this is not on my playlist, but I'm gonna just bring this up. Never mind, it's inappropriate for the show. I'll circle back later.
What? Come on, you can't do us like that.
Because remember when I told you Bop was my song
Yes.
because I love when the baby say this rich nigga dick it ain't free. Put some respect on that. It ain't free. Don't be giving it away all like that.
listen, no other than the great Drake said, I feel like this sex should not be free.
Where did this
The
just
fuck?
go?
Sorry, I'm just saying, like, you
You
know,
know, but honestly, that's real. That's real. And that honestly could probably be another topic for another day because I know at least Bianca and I have talked about sex workers on a midweek episode of our podcast and like what the perception is from society versus, you know what I mean? What I don't know, like what it actually is for people who engage in sex work, and it's completely different. And I do feel like sometimes when we hear in songs like, this isn't for free, or, this rich, y'all know what? I don't know. I feel like sometimes people say like people shouldn't say that, but it's like, why should I not value my body? You know what I mean? Like,
yes. Why should I not?
No,
I know
literally.
anybody in the comments probably like, what just happened? What were you going to say, Shay?
No, I said the P word is power. Like, we should be embracing that. And whether you are a man or we both have feminine and masculine energies, and it would behoove you to get into the groove of both of those energies. Whatever you feel like doing that make you feel like more sexual, I'm gonna do it.
Period.
Period. All right. Well, if you've been listening to new music, yeah, I know. Tay, wait, hold up. I know it just took a turn. It just took a turn. Really quickly, you guys, if you're in the chat, what have you been listening to lately? Any specific playlists or songs? We like when y'all give us stuff now. A couple of the stuff
You
y'all
know we
told
gonna
us.
check it out. We'll check it out. I mean, we might not like love it. We'll check it out.
But we will check it out. So, any new music or anything that you've been listening to lately, or even if you haven't listened to it and you just want to recommend it to us, want us to give our opinions on it, please drop it in the chat.
Yeah, what's y'all's favorite song this week?
Yeah, what y'all listening to? How y'all feel? What's the vibe?
You
What's the
guys,
vibe,
I'm really ashamed to admit this because I'm really late on this, but I've been fucking the City Girls up.
baby?
I could never really get into the City Girls music. I don't know
I'm
why.
gonna be honest.
For
Me
a
too.
job, I am a job. Yes, I don't. I am a job. Or this one song is stuck in my head because of TikTok, the Twerkulator. Have you guys seen the TikTok for the Twerkulator?
No.
No. What the heck is the circulator?
It's basically I mean it's a City Girl song, but they made a TikTok dance to it, and it's basically saying these rich ends is throwing paper. It's time for the Twerkulator, and it's like a cover on what song is this? Doo, 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 doo,
I have no
doo.
idea what this
I'm
is.
about to say you gonna have to give us a little more
It's the
facts.
percolator. That's what the song is. The line is the percolator.
No,
Anyway,
I
Mm-mm.
ain't hit.
Polo G. Dev said Polo G.
What is that? What type is that? Rap? Is it?
Yes, rap.
Have either of you ever listened to Polo G?
I heard a couple of his songs, but it wasn't hitting for.
No, baby, not me.
You know, these newbies really got to come in with a hit record for me to like get in on, and I feel like I just stick to my same list. But
Yeah.
Let me
oh,
see. No
abuse my
skips.
feelings.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
still play that every day.
Division.
Abusing feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Love Division.
Mm. Love it. It's about.
I mean, outside of that, only thing, kind of getting back to what we were talking about with the Tiana Taylor and the baby song, I've been hopping back to Ruby Rose a little bit every blue moon. Trying to think of what else I've been listening to. I made my own playlist. It's called Boss Chick Vibes. I may or may not share that one day, but it's pretty much
Okay,
what.
at least share what else. Jeez.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll send it over to you guys for sure.
Hold it out.
Okay, so moving along from the music world, we're switching up a little bit different today. So we're talking about astrology, specifically your first house. But I'm gonna let Shay take it away because this is Shay's area of expertise.
Okay, so if you guys are anything into astrology or even a little bit, because it's I feel like so trendy right now to be into it, then you probably know like what your sun sign is. That is technically like the month and day that you were born. But there is actually way more to your zodiac and to astrology, which is called a birth chart. And depending on the day, time, and specific place, the city and state where you were born, then because of the alignment of the universe at that time, astrology teaches you and tells you specific things about yourself, your personality, really the type of life you're going to have, even who your parents, qualities your parents might have, even qualities of your children. So there are 12 houses. It goes around like a clock, and it's almost like the stages of your life that you go through. So the first stage that you show up at is the first house, which is your rising sign. So if you know anything about sign, then it's pretty much like your first impression. I personally like to call it like your social media presence. I feel like now is a good way to depict that. What people see when they first meet you, but they don't really know you like that. Like what vibe are you giving? So that's what we're going to be discussing today and about the first. So as you can see from here on our picture, whatever your first house, it's just what defines you on a surface level. So what are you guys? What is your rising sign?
Wait, you said what our
What's your
rising sign?
Yeah? What's your
Yeah.
rising, Bianca? You can go first.
My rising is a Taurus.
Oh, me and Bianca got the same
I'm about to say
rising.
we have the same rising. What's yours, Chani?
Mine is Capricorn.
Oh, we are Earth risings.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? Is it different based on like Taurus and Capricorn, or like all the Earth risings kind of the same, Shay?
So they have similarities, but they also have differences. So you could be any of these signs in any of your houses and any of your placements. So you could be a Capricorn or you could be a Capricorn rising. The difference is what house is in and how it affects your life. So the first house is basically your ego, your sense of self. These are things that you're gonna have to like learn about yourself to be able to excel in life. So specifically, whatever placement that you have in that, which is your rising, it that's what makes it different. So there's a lot of similarities between like earth signs, but then there's a lot of difference between each of the specific. Like Taurus is more known for being stubborn, where Capricorn is more known for being a workaholic. So people
Oh,
probably
that defines Shani to the T. Okay.
people generally will look at me and Bianca and had this perception of us that we stubborn or hard headed, we don't listen well or even take direction well. Another thing about Tauruses is they love comfort. They love anything that makes them feel at home. So Taurus rises is the type of people that are foodies. They enjoy eating a lot. They enjoy eating good food, and I feel like that describes me and Bianca like exactly.
Exactly.
Like one thing I'm gonna do is eat. I'm gonna try so many things that I could try that I could afford to try. Like all the
Yeah,
restaurants, we gonna be in that thing.
we definitely go.
Another thing about tourists, like I said, about them liking comfort is like it'll be their home. So this is the earth sign thing, anyways, that you just generally kind of like to be at home or not really like a center of attention type person. So as a rising, people are just gonna assume that you are like a stay at home person. Like if somebody look at my profile online, they don't think I'm a like nobody thinks that about. any three of us.
Yeah, true.
And I was thinking about this, the way that we spend our money and stuff like that, our finances, and how the things that we spend it on. Like as a Taurus rising, spend my money on stuff that make me feel comfortable. So it's gonna be like skincare. I love decorating my apartment and replacing my furniture that. And for a Capricorn, it's just like a little different because Capricorns mostly focus everything on work. Like Capricorn have to figure out a better work life balance. Like how can I maintain my work and my life? So the perception of a Capricorn is more like you don't have time to waste. Like when people, you know, are gonna come at you, they know that you mean business or whatever like that. That's the perception that you give off. People know that you are about your bread.
Well, I don't hear a lie, so.
Don't hear one lie at all.
And another thing your rising sign they say actually exhibits your physical appearance as well. So I was really interested to see what they say about Taurus rising physical appearance and if that like matched me and Bianca. So
Really quickly, as Shay's pulling it up, for those of you who are like, okay, so that's cool that this is the first house and, the rising sign. But if you're wondering, like, how do I find this out? There are different apps as well as websites where you can kind of get your birth chart. But one thing you will need to know is the location you were born as well as the time you were
The
born.
exact time born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that will determine where all of the planets and things like that were placed in, in the sky or whatever when you were born. So just wanted to throw that out there.
This is so random, but I had a birth pillow when I was little. I don't know where it's at now. I probably haven't seen it since I was 10. But I can clearly, it had like all, the birth name, your name, literally my birth time is like, I can see it on the pillow. I haven't seen that pillow in years. And like, that's just something that just, for some reason, always stuck with me. Like, I know exactly what time I was born. That's weird.
That's interesting. I feel like because this is a service that I offer in my business is birth chart readings. So a lot of people don't know the exact time they was born or like their parents don't know about astrology or just like get that mumbo jumbo out of here. So when they ask them for their birth time, they like, why? Why do you need your birth time? Like they think it's some weird stuff. And it's something to know that astrology is science. It's not something that people just made up off the top of their head one day. It's literally the planetary alignments. It's not religious. And it can be spiritual if you use it for that. But you don't have to make it about that. It's really just about your journey through personal growth. And as you learn more about yourself, then you learn how to correct your ways and behaviors and things like that. So you could be a better version of yourself and create the life that you deserve to have. So for Taurus rising, it says that we're generally shorter in height, which is definitely true about me, but that is not true about Bianca.
It is not.
They typically have strong bodies and rather maybe stout or a tendency to plumpness. Their shoulders may be stooped with a shorter yet strong neck, and they tend to have a square face with a square body. They may have a strong forehead, mouth, cheek, lips, and nose, and their jaw is typically strong for chewing because we like to eat. Their eyes are usually darker, round, and prominent, and their hair is more than likely to be dark and wavy to curly, and their hands will be strong, short, broad, and
Oh, I got some strong
Are
hands for
any of
you,
those
baby.
true? Oh my goodness.
wait, here we go where it is.
For real. Other than that, that's it though. None of that was true. None of that resonated with us besides you being short and me having strong hands.
I don't know. I feel like it resonates like what they say about our nose and our eyes and
Oh yeah, I said that
my
too.
jawline. Like this, my jaw is like low key one of my biggest insecurities. Like I wish I could figure out a way to over contour. Like how do I make it less shadowy? Like,
What? Your jaw is
What?
fine.
I've never. Right, I'm about
I
to
don't know. I
say.
just always felt it was kind of like manly,
No.
and that's something I just need to work out with myself. But I don't know. I kind of agree with some of them.
I wish I knew what it said about Capricorn.
I'm
Rising.
about to tell you right now.
I wonder if it's true or not. Kind of don't want to know actually.
I'm not surprised at all that you Capricorn.
You said you're not surprised what?
That you Capricorn. Can you guys let us know in the chat what your rising is if you know it? What's your rising sign?
And even if you don't know what your, we're talking about risings, but even out of curiosity, if you know what your sun
Sun
sign
signing.
is, you know, if you're a Virgo or let us know that too.
Also, can we tell them what our sun signs is too? Or
Yeah.
we gonna say that? Because I'm an Aquarius and I'm very proud of my Aquariusism.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Bianca is maybe one of two Aquarius that I choose to talk to. I do not like Aquarius. It's
Yeah.
probably because we got the same rising sign that we can like see each other.
Yeah.
Because no,
I'm a Libra. My son is a Libra. So,
Shani's the only Libra female that I know. Actually, that's not true. Her and my friend Leah, but they both dope though. I mess with Libras.
one of my favorite cousins is a Libra, and this is very interesting. But I think you and her actually kind of look alike, Shani. So it might be true what they say about your appearance. We know Leah don't look like Shani.
No.
hi
So
Carmeezy. Thanks for dropping in
Hey.
today.
So Capricorn rising people, or also known as ascendants. You see ascendant, that also means rising sign. Quite slender, bony, awkward presence, and small to average height. The features are fine and seem cut with a chisel with deep set and serious eyes. They have stiff hair on the eyebrows and chest, for guys, I'm sure. Usually have big head and teeth, sometimes protruding outside the lips. The general appearance give an impression of sternness, solidity, deepness, and maturity. Their look is marked by neutrality, sobriety, and ordinariness. Their concern is practicality and not aesthetics, which they pay no attention to. They often look like a scientist or a philosopher, a scholar, or a wise person.
I don't think I look like any of those things, and I'm kind of torn between the aesthetics part because for a lot of times I don't care, but when I care, I care. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Really
Oh, thank
important
you
to
for the
know.
follow, Trey.
Thank you.
In your astrology chart, all of these signs are interacting with one another, and each house is also governed by a sign. So, like the first house that is governed by Leo, so that's why it is the ego. This is about like your how you are the center of attention and things. So, just because astrology says something about you, if you feel like it doesn't resonate, it's just because you have other aspects that are working with those different signs. That means that you're not going to have all of those qualities of each sign of each placement and all that. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Anything else that people should know about the ascendant or the rising sign?
I feel like the rising sign is a good place to start as your shadow work because then you know what you need to work on. That's how you think or feel about yourself and other people perceive you as well.
Okay, sweet. So again, if you guys are interested, we're gonna be doing probably something related to astrology every week, just because there are so many layers to it. So yeah, if you can get your birth time, again, like they mentioned, your parents may look at you a little bit strange, like, what do you need that for? And you'd be surprised. Parents do not remember, honestly.
No, they
They
don't.
don't remember.
A couple years, it'd be like it was real cute when your kid was one. You, yeah, they were 6 pounds 5 ounces, 19 inches tall, born at 10:52. Then when they 14, I don't know. Go look it up in the baby book. So much has happened since then.
Do you guys remember y'all kids' birth times?
I
Yeah,
do.
my daughter was born at 14.
Okay.
Yeah, mine was.
I only remember because I had to get this shot with her. Um, I had to get this shot. I can't remember exactly. I had to get this shot with her, and they was like, she has to come between this time, and if she doesn't come, then you're gonna have to get the shot again. I'm like, no, baby, she better get it out. Okay.
That's so funny. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's 12:19 was the time, and I only remember because it was so quick. My birthing, like the labor process, was just so amazing. Honestly, I think I pushed her out in like, I don't know. Dev probably would know. It might have been like 15. It was like less than 30 minutes. I was not pushing for a long time at all.
I
Yeah,
can't stand
easy as cake. It was great.
It's so interesting to hear about women's different birth experience because we really, it's like a snowflake. It's
it.
totally different. I ain't never heard one woman tell her birth story and it was the same as somebody else.
She talking about easy as cake. I had to get two epidurals because they didn't do the first one right. Like, what the heck? Epidural's already dangerous. You gonna put the needle in my back twice?
Yeah, the doctor did tell me I was born to have kids. I don't know how I felt about that, but I digress.
She said you got them childbirth hips.
No,
Y'all ever
literally.
No, she
Literally.
do though. We was just talking about her hips yesterday.
We were talking about my hips. Yeah, that's literally Shay. That's exactly what the doctor said, as well as like the nurse. They're like, "Oh my gosh, never seen this before. You were just your body was designed to just to push out the babies." And I was looking at her, kind of like,
what girl?
"Yeah, but whatever. It is what it is."
I seen Shani that day, and she just looked like, yeah, here's my child. Life is great. It's beautiful. Like after I had my baby, I'm like, that was
Girl,
a lot. Don't nobody come see me for about a couple hours. Shani's like, yeah, here she is. Beautiful, peaceful. I'm like, okay.
I had both of my kids naturally, so my labor experience was nothing like that. The first time I was in labor for like 21 hours. So by the time I finished, I was laid out like
Yeah.
sweating, pushing. And that experience, although it was a lot and extenuating, it was very beautiful because I had a water birth and there's no better
Oh.
experience to have a child. But the second time, it was like Shawnee, but I just think it was like my mindset was different the second time I had that baby. Like I knew how to react to my body and the contractions and stuff like that. So I pushed out super quick too when my daughter was born so fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. If I'm fortunate enough to have another child, I definitely want to try a natural birth. So I may be hitting you up for some insight on that, Shay. If it
I really
can hurt.
wanted a natural birth. Like I was reading books, I was visualizing. Like I would not let them give me the epidural. And the nurse was like, "Girl, if you don't get this epidural, stop playing." I was, I was in so much pain, I was throwing up. So like, I had to do something. Like it was just crazy. My body was like, "What the hell is happening?" Like we just got hit by a Mack truck in this bitch. Like I don't know.
Oh my god.
Hey, I feel like you got to know your body and you got to know yourself.
Yeah.
It's definitely mind over matter thing. So if you can like think about other things or think about it as pressure and not as pain, like you basically could trick your mind into feeling that it's not as bad as it is. Already got a high pain tolerance. And when I got had that situation, I felt like I was forced to have that experience because at the time I was married to somebody in the military. I was gonna have to give birth at a military hospital, and they had a 40% C-section rate, and I was so scared of having a C-section. I just prayed. So I was like, I'm just gonna cancel my insurance and then go somewhere else. I was not prepared.
Mm.
Mhm.
Well, if you have any birth experiences that you like to share, feel free to drop a little bit in the chat. You don't have to, labor and delivery is it can be
Yeah.
traumatic for some. But right now we want to open it up for questions. We're trying a little bit of a different format. So you have any questions or comments about astrology? I don't even know how we got on childbirth, but childbirth, childbirth, or any of the news topics that we talked about. Which we talked about a lot for anyone that just came in. We talked about Target. Um, Committing to give $2 billion to black businesses and also increasing products from black owned businesses in their stores. We also talked about 500 plus people becoming billionaires as reported by Forbes and the Bravo Kids special, which I'm still, you know. iffy on that, honestly. So yeah, any questions, feel free to drop them here, or it can be questions about something that has nothing to do with that. Honestly.
Yes. If you want to know where Shay got that cute top from, where you get that shirt from?
I got this top from Sheen, and this is actually a good segue because Tuesday I'm gonna be doing a live stream where I am doing a bikini try on. So
Ooh.
I will post the details on our Instagram. It's probably gonna be at 8 p.m. because I feel like we should just stick to that slot. Like that's our goal. What we really wanted to know though, guys, I want to ask you guys a question. What do you guys feel like is the best time for you to have a chat with us? What's y'all
Yeah.
like our regular viewers? Y'all like Sundays at 8 p.m. When do
Yeah.
you think it's a good time to catch y'all? Are y'all morning watchers? Do you guys like?
Oh, you like the Sundays at 8, Dev?
Yeah, we're still trying to fill it out. This is a great time on Sundays.
You think so too, baby Z?
Thank you.
Cool.
We also do, obviously, Shay just said she's going to be doing the swimsuit try on Tuesday. She has meditation on Monday, and Bianca hosts like the B side review, which is basically TV show reviews and just opening up conversations on those. All of those are throughout the week as well at 8. So Monday, Tuesday, and Thursdays at 8. So out of curiosity, I feel like Sundays are pretty much like a free day for everyone. But on weekdays, are you guys, is morning typically better?
Yeah, on the weekdays for like the show review. That's what I really want to know. On the show review,
Or should it be on
Thursday, I feel
weekends?
like
Unless you do show reviews on. Oh, yeah, we do only need 50 followers. Thanks, Dev, for the.
Thursday.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, we're on the road to become affiliates. Hopefully, one day partners. Um, I don't think we talked about it a little bit, but we can talk about it really quickly here as well. We really like when we talked about Sharon Osbourne earlier, and in shows like The Talk, you have The View. A lot of the big mainstream talk shows are hosted by much older men and women. And although they do talk about some of these topics, we feel like their perspective is completely different than the perspective of, young black women in America. So a part of this show is really just us trying to break into that space, but provide something that's a little bit fresher, you know, from us, Because I don't know about y'all. Sometimes I look at TV shows and I may agree with what the hosts are saying, but I have a little bit more spice to add to
We
it.
just need a fresh take, just like we want to get rid of Real Housewives. And you know what? There is no show like a real talk show that has like what we got going on right now. Like our age range, our group, our opinions. CBS, ABC, NBC. If y'all looking for something fresh, just pick us up. Like I'm telling you, like we got this.
So we say all of that to say though that we are on the path to becoming an affiliate. The last thing we need are the followers. We literally knocked out everything else. So thank you to everyone that has been tuning in with us. Like the average viewers, that wasn't an issue. The days, that wasn't an issue. Everything else is checked off. It's just the follower part. So thank you again for your support. Feel free to share us with your friends, so we can continue to build this community. Uh,
Yes.
so I guess y'all don't have any questions for us. Like, I'm a little disappointed. My feelings
I'm
hurt.
you. Like, y'all want to know me? Y'all want to know it? Like, you ain't got nothing to
It's cool
me.
though. Yeah, for sure. All right, so moving along then. The next thing that we wanted to discuss, and I feel like this is such a touchy subject, but we are still gonna discuss it. Um,
No, we ain't sick of you, Dev.
we're
If
not,
you want to ask the question. I'm sorry.
you're good. You're good. If you have a question, still feel free to put it in the chat, and we'll just monitor it, and we can circle back toward the end of the show. Um, but if you have not seen, obviously, as of late, I want to say, even just a few days ago, Biden came out and made a statement saying that Because at first, wasn't it like age limits on who could get vaccines? I feel like now it might be officially available in all states. Don't quote me on that.
To
But
most
yeah,
Americans.
most states have officially allowed or opened up vaccination to all ages now. But the only thing is, COVID numbers have skyrocketed as the vaccine availability increased, and states have started obviously getting really, really lax on the social distancing guidelines. We've seen it recently where theme parks are opening back up. I've been seeing people in the club. It don't seem like they shut them down anymore for being like over capacity or anything like that. So it is interesting that although the cases are going up, it doesn't seem like there's much alarm at all. Um, and in particular, I'll share the story and then we can discuss it a little bit more. But Bianca brought to the attention a really funny thread that took place on Twitter. So for those of you who may not be able to see it, I'll just Bianca, do you want to read it or anyway?
I can't see it.
Okay, I'll read it. It's cool.
No, I can see it.
Okay, do you want to go?
No, no, I can't see it. I'm like,
It's it's okay. So basically, the tweet that popped up is someone, hey, it's K Matt said one of the girls in a group chat that my friend is in asked them to be considerate for future trips to pick places where they aren't requiring the COVID-19 vaccines because she's likely not getting it. They said, why did someone reply, Vaxianas only, and then removed her from the group? And then they made a joke about
That's
hello, they
yeah.
yeah they want Moderna mommies, Pfizer princesses, and J&J Johns only on the trip. So in this specific scenario, obviously the young lady shared with her group of friends or associates that she probably was not getting the vaccine, and they promptly kicked her out from the chat. Would you guys, out of curiosity, I did pose the question on the slide, does vaccine shaming exist? And I feel like it could go either way. Some people um, who are anti-vax are kind of shaming people who are pro, and people who are pro are kind of shaming people that are anti. Would you guys agree that that exists at all?
Oh, I definitely agree that that's existing. I definitely, you can definitely see people, but for me personally, like I'm not shaming anybody. I'm letting people make their own choices. I feel like this is literally one of those things where it is literally a personal choice. If you choose to do it, fine. If you don't, okay. I would never tell my friend like, "Nah, girl, you ain't vaccinated. You can't come." Like what? But that's just me though.
I think the idea behind that came from, the rumors of what they're saying that, once they feel like a good population is vaccinated, that they're going to start separating us by vaccinated and unvaccinated. So at events, you'll still be able to go to a fully crowded baseball game, but guess what? They will be having seating for vaccinated and unvaccinated. So you'll be having to present documentation. You want to go to a concert, guess what? Sitting with the unvaxxed. And that makes a lot of people feel uncomfortable because I think some people consider like vaccines next to cleanliness. Do y'all agree with that?
No, I never heard that.
Um, I haven't heard that, but I do get what you mean because I do feel as though I saw a really great post where someone actually posted, I guess, something that they had to sign after they got the vaccine, but they just posted it on Instagram because they took the time to read it after they were vaccinated, and it pretty much said like, this is not an FDA. Well, basically, it said something along the lines that it wasn't really FDA approved, but it was in the process of being approved. But they make these exceptions when situation like this where there's a pandemic. But it also put in there like this could cause severe reactions. It may not necessarily protect you from whatever its intention is or the variants. And I agree with you, Shay. Like some people do feel like once they have it, they're all right. I'm good to go. There's like I'm bulletproof, and that's not the case.
That's not the
100%.
case.
Yeah.
Also, I wish people would realize it's not even designed to make you bulletproof or vaccinated. It's literally designed to just make sure it's not life threatening. It's almost like the flu shot. You can still get the flu when you get the flu shot. You can still get COVID when you get the COVID vaccine. They literally are just trying to design it so that it's not life threatening like it was before. But the Johnson and Johnson vaccine is only 66%. effective anyway. So like not only is it not FDA approved, it's only 66%. So when you just hear stuff like that, it's like either way, you can see why people would feel either you can see why people would feel like, yes, I want to get vaccinated. No, I don't want to get vaccinated. They just shut down the last another site, another Johnson and Johnson testing center in Georgia because of the adverse,
Adverse.
y'all know,
Yeah.
adverse effects. And then this girl was on. I was just on Twitter, and this girl was in the hospital making this video. She like, I got the Johnson and Johnson vaccine yesterday. I've had 8 seizures. I've never had a seizure before in my life.
Ooh.
So, like I'm just saying, this going everything is gonna affect people differently, but you shouldn't judge somebody who like, well, damn, like I'm really not sure. And also, you shouldn't judge somebody who like, well, no, I feel like I need to do this to protect me and my family. Like it's just literally a personal.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that, people are scared of what it's going to grow into and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of misrepresentation in the media as far as like what Bianca said, what the vaccination is actually going to do. So people just think that, okay, if I get vaccinated, then it's probably not the best thing for me to hang with people that's unvaccinated because they can give it to me. But in all actuality, you can catch it from anybody, anywhere, masked or unmasked. So we just have to continue to protect ourselves. And me personally, I still haven't made up my decision if I'm going to get the vaccination or not because I have previous health conditions that it makes me seriously worried that it could counteract with either my own health issues or one of the medications I'm already taking. I have time for that. But then I also feel like, what am I going to do when they start turning us away from places?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually
I
really tough.
my personal stand is I'm not against it. I'm not a anti-vaccinator. I personally gonna wait to see what happens first, see what happens next. So I'm not running out to get the first dose. I'm gonna see what happens next with y'all. And if it's like
What
that's where
happens
I'm at
next? Okay.
right. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, and I didn't even know, Shay. Y'all know I live under a rock a lot of times, so I didn't even know anything about how you said like the events might be just sectioned off. So I'm really curious to see what that could look like. I know where I stand on it. I am still just kind of doing my research as well before I make a final decision. And again, with news like this, we thought this story with the tweet was actually funny because people really are, they really do take it serious and they will pass judgment on others, you know, on either side, whether they're getting it or not getting it. And I just think it's very important for us to all be mindful and respectful of what people feel is best for them. And like we always say, we just urge you to do your research before, if you do plan on getting it, before you get it, because some of them will even say, like, if you suffer from X, Y, and Z, this may not be, just know that there is a risk there. So just do your research, and we wish you all health, honestly, you know,
Yeah.
for real.
I feel like the main concern to me is more about social distancing than who is vaccinated or unvaccinated around me. I don't need to be anywhere where it's a bunch of people at. I don't need to be in a huge scene. And I feel like the numbers are going up because people feel like this since the vaccine is out, they don't have to really worry about social distancing anymore. And that's not true. We need to continue to wash our hands, social distance, try not to hang out with too many people that you don't regularly come in contact with, and monitor yourself and the other people around you. You might stay home 5 nights a week, but your best friend be out in the streets every other day and y'all hang out, you know. So are you really protected? I don't know.
Mm, nah, sounding like a no for me. But yeah, so that's just what we wanted to say there. As always, we will keep you guys updated as more information regarding vaccinations, events, and all of that stuff rolls out. So, last but
Yeah.
not least, our main and major topic of the day is centered around working moms. Um, so, for those of you, typo, please excuse my typo, but for those of you who do not know or did not see this, University of Arizona coach Adia Barnes recently had a baby. She actually stated that she had her baby at the beginning of the season, and during the recent national championship, during halftime, she actually was late coming back from halftime because she was pumping for her newborn baby, and it was a big topic of discussion. So we really wanted to open up the conversation around working moms, what that's like, and really everything. So, ladies,
Well, I'm a working mom. When I was pregnant with my daughter, I was actually in grad school. So I was getting my master's, I was working full time, and I had a full time internship. So even before she even got here, I have always just been working my ass off trying to provide for her. And then when I had my daughter, I actually was a college instructor. I only got 5 weeks off. And I worked 12-hour days. So I had a newborn and I worked from 9 to 9. I had a 4 hour break, but my job was 45 minutes away from my daughter. Sometimes I would go home, sometimes I wouldn't. I was a exclusively breastfeeding mom. I had to pump at least 3 times throughout the day. I had to pump in the closet. It was a utility closet. The janitors actually use it. Actually, the janitor walked in on me pumping a couple times. At some point, I just was like, "Hey, what's up?" Because I mean, hey, we're here. Um, it was very hard. That was actually the reason why I left that job because one, I was away from my newborn baby for too many hours at a time, and two, my boobs were hard as fuck. Most of the time when I was teaching, and that was uncomfortable, and it was just a lot. Like being a new mom, and then I probably had like a little postpartum. Now that I think back on it, it was really hard being like a working mom and then adjusting to motherhood while I was going through a new job. Like I literally started the new job and the motherhood at the same time. It'd be a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. The first thing I want to do is like really commend her because I think at one point she was even on a side feeding. Uh, first, well, her child's only 6 months old, and obviously this is a critical point in her career. So she's having to balance and choose between being there for her child. I'm sure they have so many away games, and then of course with the whole COVID thing, there's so much that goes on to just this even little tiny article before I can move on to my own personal experience as a working mom. I feel like it's super awesome. I think it's great for all the publications that highlight and stuff like that. But I think that this really gave us the space to think about how we are being treated as moms in the working environment. Like 5 weeks, we have a baby. That's ridiculous. In most countries, they give a whole year off to move. In the United States, they're like, you got 6 weeks to figure out what you're gonna do, get your child care arrangement in, and get back to work. They don't care nothing about you raising your kids, and that I feel like impacts the generation of children growing up because now we have all these moms.
yeah, I agree. Um, and I know she actually had, there are several clips online of her conference, like her after game conference, and she kind of shared, why she was late coming back from halftime. And she was very, very transparent, which I feel like we don't see a lot of in those situations. It's so hard, especially women in sports. We had something on here more recently about the basketball players themselves, women basketball players. So she said like she really didn't have time off. She was like, yeah, I was technically off, but I was on Zoom calls right after having my C-section. And that she was like, I struggled during the season. I think she even said at one point she felt like she had a breakdown, and it's very, very, very difficult, especially in those first few months when your child is born. Um, I remember when I had my daughter, I was exclusively breastfeeding in the beginning, and I also had to pump at work. Now, luckily, I did not have to pump in a, you said a janitor's closet, Bianca, or yeah, we had my place of employment at the time. They had a really, really nice room. There was like a recliner in there. There were like low key like a sofa bed, refrigerators, a sink, mirrors. Like honestly, I used to pump and then I would take a nap. Like it was really, really great. But the sad part is that a lot of workplaces do not have everything needed to really support moms getting right back into the workforce, and that is definitely something I wish our country, I don't know, I don't want to call it maternity leave reform, but I just feel like they need to do do better when it comes to moms and even fathers. I noticed a lot of places are actually getting better with like paternity leave, but I definitely agree that children need their parents in their lives. I don't know, in those early ages.
Yeah, those early ages are so formidable. And then it's just so much that we have going on as moms. It's like your job is only one fraction of all the other stuff that you have going on. And when you have a new baby, your emotional state is so fragile. You really need that support from everyone. You know how they say it take a village. So I need my
Mhm.
job to be supportive. I need, the father of my children to be supportive, my friends and family to like really gather around and support me during this time where my life is so hard because it's a huge transition from it just being you to you having to like physically support as a breastfeeding mom. We all been there. There's so much that goes into it. Like with Max, I was able to take a year off from work. So I breastfed him the entire year. I didn't have to pump or anything, but I couldn't do nothing. I was literally at full time. I had to take him everywhere because he was exclusively breastfed. Like that was just it. You taking the baby with you. And then when I had Eva, I went back to I think, at work after 6 weeks. And at the time, I was serving in a restaurant and we didn't have a breastfeeding room. I literally had to just go sit in the office and pump. And because I was a waitress, I would get to work at like 6 in the morning, and I didn't get a break to pump until like the lunch rush was over. So we looking at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I've been there since 6 a.m. What Bianca was explaining, that feeling is called engorgement, and it's literally your breasts are so full with milk that touch them and they are hard and hot to the surface. It hurts so bad to even express the milk out. Like it has to
It
go.
feels like rocks. Like it hurts. It's heavy.
So painful.
And we're not gonna talk about when you don't pump and you need to and your stuff start
They
leaking. That
leak.
Yeah,
is so embarrassing.
yeah, you gotta wear breast pads like in your bra because if you don't, you'll just have holes in your shirt. Then people looking at you like, what happened? They know what happened though, because obvious big milk spots right here on your chest.
I mean, y'all
Yeah.
ever been in a random store, hear another baby crying, and then
Yes. Oh
baby?
yeah. Yeah, mom life is rough.
Yeah, that actually happened to me once. I had to travel for work, and at the time, I worked in a Cleveland, Ohio office, and I was traveling to our Detroit office, and I was driving. So the drive is about roughly 3 hours, a little bit less, maybe depending on how fast you're going. And I don't know what it was. Like I pumped before I hit the road, but I was like maybe halfway through that drive, and when your chest gets that hard, it was like the worst experience ever. And I got to my job, I had to go right into a meeting, and my boobs started leaking. I did not have the little pads on. I'm in the meeting. My At the time, my boss, well, my leader's name, his name was Alton. He was like, Shawnee. I was like, yeah. He was like, do you want to go to the hotel room and get settled? And I was like, no, I mean it's fine. Everything's cool. He's like, Shawnee. He like did his head like this, and I was like, he was like, and I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I'll be right back. As I left, he texted me like, if you need to take a few hours, it's fine. It was one of the most embarrassing moments coming back to work. That's not funny, Dev,
Yeah,
but
it
it was
is
so
funny.
embarrassing. So out of curiosity, if you're in the chat, if you're a mom, let us know. If you're a dad, your perspective is a little bit different. But do you feel like you were supported, after having your child or children, like going back into the workforce? Because I want to say, like, a lot of times for women, what do you get? Like, I'm trying to think how much time I got. Did I have a full 3 months
It's
after?
6 weeks.
I think that's what they're required to give you is 6 weeks, and then anything after that is probably what your
And
own
then if you
discretion.
have a C-section, they supposed to give you 8.
Okay. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I definitely had a full 3 months off after, but I want to say at the time my husband only got like 2 weeks. I think is what they gave him for paternity leave.
Yeah, I think that my ex had two weeks as well for the paternity leave. I know that that's not everybody's situation, like what I'm about to say or whatever, but I feel like when I did have my child, their dad was not like that supportive. So even though I wasn't at work, it still felt like I had a job. Like I still had to do the same things I did, but now it's like a baby on top of that. Now you breastfeeding every couple hours. You don't know. I mean, it's the baby, it's their schedule. They'll tell you when they're hungry. It's like you
Mm.
don't even have your own life anymore. So I don't feel like I was supported at all. And honestly, still don't feel very supported as a working mom. And I feel like I have to make constant sacrifices between my kids and my career. And I don't think that their dad has to worry about that.
Yeah, I can agree with Shay. I feel like I don't have the support that I need. And I do feel like, well, I don't want to say I don't got the support that I need, but well, yeah, I actually am going to say I don't got the support that I have. Because, like Shay said, it does feel like you have to choose. Like, I'm the only person, I have to work, but my daughter has to go to school. And then my daughter goes to school now because of COVID. She only go to school from 9 to 1. What job really lets you be able to go pick your kid up from school at 1 o'clock? Like, that doesn't make sense. And I feel like it's really hard for me to always have to make arrangements for how am I going to do work, pick up school, activities, swim less, like things like that. All of that is all on me. I'm one person and I have to juggle my work life, her life, and then this life, like our creative life, my own. So I just feel like guys, dads don't know how much that help is really appreciated. Like when you're a dad, I never realized when people said that dads was sexy until I had a kid. Now, when I see a dad being a dad, I'm like, oh damn, that nigga sexy dadding. He is dadding, okay? He is taking care of his kid because that is sexy. He's helping. And you know what I like more? When they want to, when they're just doing it because they actually want. Look at you just aspiring to be an amazing father. I love to see it.
You know, because a lot of guys have that excuse of like they didn't know, or they wasn't taught, they didn't have that, you know, think growing up they didn't have that relationship with their father and stuff like that. But a lot of us didn't either. And you become an instant mom. The moment they come out, you have to get ready physically, mentally, emotionally. You have to be prepared and you have to constantly keep preparing yourself because they keep growing up every age. I seen this TikTok today and it was very interesting to me. This lady said, I'm gonna talk about this in meditation tomorrow too, so y'all just know y'all gonna get a double dose of this. You have a different inner child for every year that you have been alive. So the trauma that you occurred when you was 1 years old, this is the trauma that affect like your root chakra, and this goes all the way up for like 2 to 3 years. The first 2 to 3 years, this is your root chakra. This is the things based off of your fears, your beliefs, all this stuff like that. And then the next version of yourself at another age, this is the whole another trauma that you are incurring. So as we raising these kids, we're not even totally aware today, 6, that we're even giving them trauma because we wasn't even like really aware about what parenting was.
No, yeah. No, that makes sense. One thing I will say that I struggle with, and you ladies may have as well, is like that when I initially went back to work, I almost felt as though I was abandoning my child a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't there for her, and in the grand scheme of things, I know I wasn't abandoning her. I was, you know, doing what I needed to do so I could provide and try to afford her all the things that I feel like she needed. Um, but even now, as Shay's talking about like the trauma that we may create, do you think it's possible that sometimes our in our mission to avoid certain traumas that we may be unknowingly creating other ones, or you know what I mean? Like I don't know how to explain it.
No, I exactly know what you're saying. It's like as we try and misstep certain things when we create other things. Me and Bianca actually talk about this all the time because I feel like we have a lot of the same challenges with our kids. And the thing is, like, they're gonna incur some trauma. We could just only do what we can to help them heal from it right now. Right now, I'm actively helping my child heal through the trauma of me and his dad getting divorced. You know what I mean? Like, we can't wait until they're adults to start saying, okay, go to therapy and stuff like that, which is like more what our generation is used to. It's not so much as about avoiding giving them trauma, it's about being proactive in resetting trauma as it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I seen this article and it was a story I think last week or a couple weeks ago. Y'all probably seen it, and it was a mom. She was working at a pizza place or something like that, and she left her kids in a hotel room, which she was paying daily rates for, so she can go to work at said pizza place. And I think her oldest child was maybe like 7 or 8 or something. And of course, somebody called DCFS, child services, and it's like what you said, she was doing what she felt like she had to do, because if she didn't go to work every day, where was her kids gonna sleep at that night?
Yeah. Yeah. That's real. And lots of moms have to make hard choices like that because they don't have the support. Like I I feel like I totally understand her situation because, like Shay said, what was she gonna do? Then they all were just gonna be out on the street. That situation ended up turning out good. She got a house and a job out of that situation too. Once, like it ended up flipping up for her.
Yeah, which I'm glad to hear that. But I agree. Support is a big thing. And really quickly, what I wanted to share with you guys is on. Obviously, we're all moms, so if you have any type of frustrations or things that you just want to vent, feel free to do so in the chat. Nothing, no, nothing that's like too personal of your information. Or you can always send us like a whisper, and one of us may respond, just giving you encouraging words. But on Mindful BS, which is a podcast I did with Bianca, we recently had two really special guests on from a community. It's called Two Dope Moms. I
Mhm.
will maybe try to get their link in the chat somewhere. But they're a community. It's a newer community, but they're trying to again provide support. It may not be like literally there in your life, but just things on Instagram to encourage you, tips, tricks, just things from their experience to help aid you throughout being a mom, because some stuff you don't know, and they're very very vocal about every mom experience is completely different, so some stuff may not work for you, but at least you have an option to try. And were you gonna say something, Bianca?
No, I was just gonna say they also encourage that there are no judgment zones. I know at times we be striving to be perfect because there's like this perfectionism expectation of motherhood, which I don't even understand because there's like no, we're not even perfect people. Like we're still people at the end of the day. But I feel like a lot of times the issues we feel like we're only going through, like no, like you can share that with other people and they can be like, no girl, actually, because even today, me and Shay, literally, her daughter made a mess about something and she's telling me about it. I'm like, girl, my daughter just like literally. Like, and it's just like it just make you feel better knowing you ain't the only frustrated in the moment at the time. And we're not gonna judge you for what you and you're not gonna be judged for being frustrated at the time.
It's so important to have a community. I just remember when I was growing up and would detest my mother for her parenting, and I thought that I could be so much a better parent to her when I had my kids. And she used to tell me, "Girl, you ain't come with no handbook." And now I totally understand what she say. Every day it's like I'm just got this brown bag and I pick a ticket out and they be like, "Okay, this is what your day is gonna look like today."
It's
Because
every day though. That's the thing. Like you get some new things with it's not weekly, it's not monthly, it's not like it's literally every day they bring us up. I'm sorry I had to cut you off about that, but when you said that, that really just hit home for me because I'm like every day.
yeah, No, seriously, like when you really in the fields of motherhood, and especially if you are a single mom, it's that more difficult. Like me and Bianca, we really admire Shanice's relationship with her co-parent because it inspires us. I feel like me, Bianca, and Shani is on a timeline. Like Bianca in this space of becoming accepted of her situation and how she could be better co-parenting with it just how it is. I'm in this space where I've accepted it and now I'm co-parenting with just how it is. And Shani is in this space where she's figured out how to communicate so well with her co-parent, where there's like barely any issues and stuff like that. So, it's stages and stuff like that to motherhood. Like, we'll be okay. We'll all get through it. And at the end of the day, do what you got to do. Drink some wine, get you some libations, and wake up the next day and feel blessed that your kids are in your life and keep it pushing.
Period.
And one thing I definitely want to say is just kind of piggybacking off of what Shay just said about the different stages of parenting or co parenting. That is so true. And just keep in mind that no situation is ever like perfect all the time either. And I
Yeah.
also think we should normalize um, to the points that you both of you ladies made earlier. Normalize it being okay for a mom to be like, I actually did not like I don't know if it was Bianca or someone else, but literally the other day I was like, yeah, I'm kind of over being a mom today. And it
It
does
was
not mean that I don't love my child. It does not mean, you know what I mean, anything crazy because I love her, I provide for her. I would never harm her or anything like that. Let me just say that. But it was one of those days where it seemed like every parenting situation I was in made me want to bang my head against the wall. And it was just not a good parenting day. And I think so many times, like, we feel like we can't say that out loud. You know what I mean? Or we feel bad for feeling that way. And I think we just have to normalize saying like it's okay to feel that way at times. The key is to like feel it and then try to let it pass. You know what I mean? Like don't sit in it, but it's okay to feel that way. Shout out to y'all. Y'all carry the crown of motherhood so well. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I can complain about this shit all day. I can be stressed out, but at the end of the day, I love my daughter. She is my homegirl. I would give her the world. She knows it. Um, and like I love her, but I don't like her sometimes. And I be feeling like that's okay for me to say that. Like, I just don't. But I love her to death. And I will always do my best for her. And I will always go hard for her. And I stress myself out to make sure she got the best life. But this shit just be rough sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't change nothing about it. I loved it so much. But it's just some days it really just takes you out of your hookup. And that's when you just gotta lean in for your support system right then and there. And just know that
Mhm.
everything is gonna be okay. Tomorrow's a whole new day. This day may have been crappy. My favorite thing that Bianca says on a podcast is try again next week.
I'm saying, like, for real, I be feeling like the people definitely needed to hear that. Like, I mean,
Now, I did have one more question before we wrap up this section. We've kind of touched on it, but I just want to like pose it as a legit question. As working moms, do you sometimes feel like you do sacrifice what it is that you want, work or career wise, um, because of your responsibilities as a parent? And if you have found yourself in that position, how have you like gotten out of it, or like what are you doing to make sure you're maintaining your individuality while also wearing the title of mom, or for people in the chat, dad?
My God, it's so important, like what you specifically said as individuality, because a lot of times you get into this role as a mother and it becomes who you are. And we have to understand that being a mom is like an outfit that we put on, just like your job is an outfit, just like who you are to different people in your life is an outfit. And sometimes you got to take them clothes off and wash them, girl. You can't just be rolling around in them same dusty, crusty, musty ass mama clothes. You have
Period.
to get back to who you are. And I think when I like got out of my marriage, that's when I felt like I had the freedom to finally worry about myself a little bit because I spent so much time and effort just constantly focused like on my marriage and my kids. But since COVID hit, this has been an upside down in my life where I feel like I definitely had to put my kids first with the homeschooling thing. Like, once we couldn't go to school, we couldn't go to work. Okay, we wasn't going to work either, so it was like, all right, we all at home, no big deal. But then once we had to go back to work, it was like, okay, I need to figure out what am I going to do? Am I going to put my kids in a child care and they're going to have to sit in mask all day so that I can go to work and make a living for us? Am I just going to work? Now I work like random days of the week or only on the weekends, and I probably make 30% of what I was making last year. It has dramatically impacted us as far as financially. But I will say that from an emotional and spiritual point, as a mom, it has benefited me being able to be around my kids that much. Because we just send our kids to school, we don't see them all day. They come home, we cook them dinner, we talk for 5 minutes, and then it's bedtime. So I feel like it has improved our relationship so much. But definitely have to put them.
I think Bree going back to school improved our relationship. I be needing them couple hours, even if it, I be needing them 3. Okay, it's important for me to have Bianca time. So, like, I wake up randomly throughout the middle of the night. And if I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I want to watch a show in peace without nobody calling me and asking me something, I do it. If I always start my day making sure that I do something for me that's just only for me. Even just sitting at my desk writing in my journal and drinking my coffee, that's for me. Don't know, like, just what I always try to start my morning off in a space where I have at least an hour, an hour and a half, just me time before I wake my kids up. And I think that's what keep me going. Like, as long as I know that I have done something to fulfill me, that filled me, then I'm a mom. Then she go to school and I get to be, just Bianca for a couple hours, which is cool. And then that's another time for me to do, what I want. And then I go get her. And then, like Shay said, it do be seeming like when they come home from school, but I be having to cook. And then we got homework. And then, I have to get her ready for bed. And then it does seem, she gone. But like, I'm also I try to spend at least an hour a day with her doing something with just me and her. So like, if I'm playing a game with her or if I'm like watching TV with her, I can say that like I literally devoted some time like that was just us two. So I don't feel like, we just like ships passing.
Yeah, I agree. I would definitely say when I first became a mom, I 100% lost myself. The individuality did not exist. I wasn't just wearing the title mom. That was just, that's who I was. Yeah, that's who I was. But the older that she has gotten, I feel like my career was still impacted, but I feel like in a positive way because obviously having a child, you it comes with expenses. So I feel like having her honestly like kind of forced me to be in a mindset of like, okay, I need to level up, like I need to do better, I need to provide more. And then once I got into a space where, you know, I was making more money, but it was also requiring more hours, it really forced me to kind of look at, well, what could I do that won't require so much time that I actually enjoy so that when I come home, I'm not exhausted and telling her, like, okay, baby, like, go watch a movie. And I feel like that has really impacted my creativity and wanting to explore this realm more and really wanting to flourish here so that I can provide more for her. But I definitely lost myself. And I think to Bianca and Shay's point, I really just had to like carve out time for me. Meditation, finding out what I enjoy to do actually, like going out and involving myself in activities. And I think now I'm in a space where I'm trying to for lack of a better phrase, like integrate being a mom into everything that I do. So I don't feel like I have to have like escapes, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I can still be myself and still wear the title of mom. I don't know. That probably doesn't make sense, but hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to say. Because sometimes I feel like I need to get away. You know what I mean? Like an escape from it, but I'm trying to find that perfect balance where I don't need to escape and I can still feel that freedom and feel like myself.
I feel like that is definitely the go. Like when I think about moms, for some reason, my mind always goes to like TV moms that I love because, to be honest, I didn't feel like I really grew up with that image of a mom that I wanted to be like. So I just think of certain moms that be like how even it's just TV, it just seemed like their life was so effortless. The way they was being a parent, and it seemed like their kids was just somehow included it like in everything you do. I feel like Bianca, you do a great job with that, with Brie incorporating her and everything. I think I'm still like on the other side of the bridge of that because I think just between the issues that me and my son have, like my son has ADHD and DMDD, and I don't know if we'll ever be in a space where I feel like I'm gonna need like total separation from that because it's very taxing.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Um, so Dev said, I feel like my individuality was impacted a bit, but me being responsible for another human has really made me grow up and think about what I need to be doing. I even made personal changes as far as who I want to be and what type of example I want to set for my family. Yeah, that's real.
Yeah,
I think that's something that is the biggest pro of being a parent because I don't know who I would be if I didn't have my kids. I honestly don't feel like them being in my life has impacted me and changed me so much as a person, but for the better.
agreed.
I agree. I always say that I feel like my daughter is actually, she reminds me to be a child and have fun and create. So I really do feel like her birth is actually what kind of sparked the passion to dive into more creative pursuits because I don't know, there's something about like a child's innocence and just, I don't know, it's really inspiring in my opinion.
It's the imagination for me.
Unfortunately, we're all single parents, but I feel like having a partner helps take the load off a bit and will make it easier to find me time. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
agree.
Absolutely. Well, any additional comments, tips, or words of advice that you ladies have for any new parents out there, parents who have been doing it for a while, or someone who may even be considering having a child soon?
I would just say we all want the best for our kids, but don't seek for perfection. And also don't think that you have to parent the way everybody else. Like, I feel like you should parent to your child because every child is different. And what works for some kids is just not going to work for your kid. So I feel like it just takes the time to develop, learn from your child, learn your child, realize that they're a person and not just a kid. Like they don't represent all kids. They are a individual. Treat them like an individual and parent towards their individuality. That's what I say.
Definitely practice detachment parenting, which pretty much means that I allow my kids the freedom to be themselves, to speak freely, to have their own minds, and not police their everyday behaviors and things that make them who they are. I think my main piece of advice, if you are a working parent, is to try and find the balance, find happy moments every day, find things that you can be grateful for every day that's just going to get you through, to the next day. And get some therapy or holistic healing, whatever you need to do, because whatever trauma that you incur, you unknowingly pass that on to your kids. And then you got to resolve that.
Absolutely. And I think the only thing to add on to what you two ladies says is when it comes to finding a support group, sometimes support will not come from the people that you expected, like a partner or your family or maybe even your closest friends. So if you feel like you're in it alone, definitely look online. There are tons of communities online that are so open, so caring, that will literally listen to you vent about anything and really won't even give advice unless you ask for advice. They will literally just listen to you vent. So I would highly recommend finding some type of support group out there because no one should go through parenting alone. If not, it will drive you crazy. Trust me.
It literally drives me crazy. Literally.
Actually, my best friend just founded a group online for dads. I'm going to post that and share that to the Instagram. So if you guys are interested, it's a super great network and a way to meet people, meet other dads. Because a lot of times you have kids and your friends ain't got kids yet. Now you're trying to fit in your schedule. Did you guys have that issue? You feel like when you became a mom that you almost lost your friends? Like, okay, who I'm gonna hang out with now? Because now I got to bring the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was the first one out of my friends to have kids. So, I mean, I was just always the one with the kid, or I can't come because I have the kid. But luckily, my friends, I did lose. I feel like I did lose, but the friends that I had around when I had the baby were the perfect friends to have around. You know what I'm saying? Like they understood, bring the baby, they kept the baby for me. Like my best friend, I mean, I remember she came here just so I could go to work to keep my baby for like a couple hours. Like I have like a bomb support system.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I feel like I didn't really for those that don't know, I don't really have a lot of friends. But if anything, I feel like when I had my child, it was more so of me withdrawing from people because, like I mentioned earlier, I completely lost my identity when I became a mom. So friends, they were there, but like Bianca can attest to this. Like we became friends like before I got pregnant, but when I was even during my pregnancy, I kind of just disappeared. Like
I seen Shani twice when she was pregnant at my birthday dinner and at her baby shower.
like I really disappeared. And I don't know. It was probably just hormonal thing. I don't really want to get into it. I really dealt. Oh, I'll share a little bit. Growing up, I always dealt with body image issues. So I actually used to have bulimia as a child. So obviously, getting pregnant and seeing my physical body go through all of these changes, it really messed with me mentally, and I was not pleased with how my physical body looked, which made me just withdraw from people, social interaction in general. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But yeah, so I didn't lose friends, I just disappeared on everybody. Did you feel like you lost friends, Shay?
Um, I don't feel like I lost friends because at the time we were like a military family. So there's so many people in the military, people that I worked with or that my ex-husband worked with that had families. So I feel like I was kind of accepted into more friendships and things like that in my pregnancy. But I will say when I was single again and I started live the best life, that's when I felt like I couldn't really relate to my friends, whatever, because a lot of my friends either didn't have kids or they just had the, you know, functionality to be able to drop their kids off with somebody or with their other parent and stuff like that. So it's just like I can't never do nothing. I can't never go nowhere. Y'all always inviting me places and I can't never bring my kids. I got my kids with me.
That's so real. Yeah.
So I think for sure my friendship separated. Like at that point, suffered because I didn't have like that support to just leave the kids at home.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, if you are in the chat and you didn't already do so, please make sure you at least hit the Instagram link to our Instagram page, and um, we will make sure it might actually be on Shay's personal page too. But we'll try to make sure we post the community that Shay just mentioned. That's actually for dads, and we will also post the one for two dope moms. Again, in case you feel like you could use a support system, those are two online, one for moms and one for dads that you guys can check out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything that we had listed. You guys, normally our show is what, less than an hour?
An hour at least.
2 hours
It's
today.
like barely hitting 40 minutes sometimes. I am so excited for us. First
Woo.
No, I feel like our group show always hit an hour. Our individual show.
no, it
They
don't
don't.
hit no
Maybe
hour.
he has
Last
They
time
do.
forty-five
it was
minutes,
like
girl.
barely.
Oh dang, I must be tripping. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Here you go. 2 hours. You're welcome.
I feel like
So
we really taking our stride. You guys make sure to follow us here on Twitch, on Instagram, on Twitter, and watch out for our social media where we will be posting our next stream coming up. And just stay tuned because we got more stuff.
That's right. Tune into Shay's little swimsuit haul. Okay,
so yeah, so
girl.
the next stream will be tomorrow for meditation, which I think I saw was inner child healing.
Yeah.
Yes. So definitely check out the meditation tomorrow for inner child healing. Is so fitting for the discussion that we just talked about because I know we talked about being a parent and being there for your kids, but sometimes we miss those moments in our own childhoods, and there are traumas that we need to address and heal from. So Shay got y'all covered tomorrow with some meditation for that. And I think we're going to wrap it up soon. Really quickly before we sign out, any questions, comments, concerns? Yo, I'm getting old. What you laughing at, Shay?
I was laughing at Bianca's smile.
Why?
What are you
It
cheesing
almost
at?
looks like she on a roller coaster, but like Bianca's switching her face back.
Girl, always cheesing. Okay.
I was just thinking though, like we all have some really nice smiles. Like
I
thankful
was
that
thinking that too.
Yeah.
like that's just confirmation that we was meant to use our voice to speak. Oh, that's what I really want to say though, y'all, is that if you like enjoying hearing us talk, Bianca and Shani said they have a podcast called Mindful BS. And I also have a podcast called Three Strikes. We will link them on our Instagram as well so y'all can check them out. We both upload on Mondays. And you guys can check Bianca and Shani out on Instagram as well during the midweek sometime on the cage.
On occasion, when we feel like we need to give y'all a little, we got y'all.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to get ready to raid. Oh, out of pocket gaming. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. So if you guys are interested in seeing some gameplay, please stay tuned. We're gonna close it out as always. Thank you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate you. We hope you have a great week. And if not, Bianca, you want to say here too?
Yeah, and if not, try again next week.
And if you start tomorrow and Monday is a little rocky, just join the meditation and that should reset your week.
No lie. Remember I told y'all I had a great week last week? Shay's meditation was on point on Monday, and I'm telling you, the next day, magic life. I'm telling you, too. Every after Monday was just regular. The meditation was great, and then after that, the week was skyrocketing. So I'm just letting y'all know. I don't know, mate. It might have had something to try it. I'm letting y'all know.
Bianca basically said the meditation had her up and it was stuck and everything was good after that.
Period.
All right, well.
I wanted to ask y'all a question real quick, but I keep forgetting the question, and then every time I remember the question, somebody talking.
Oh, what is it?
Right.
Forgot again.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What's wrong with my memory? Oh my god. I literally had the question. And I felt like y'all watch Harry Potter. You know how when they be pulling the memories out?
Yeah.
That's happening.
I don't know. I feel like that keeps happening to me. Like somebody is pulling my memories.
Oh Lord. Okay. Well, if the question comes back, maybe you know what, you guys, we should go on Instagram Live one day. Well,
Yeah, we should.
we can talk about that later. But if the question comes back, hopefully we'll table it for next week if it still applies. We'll see.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna call it a night, you guys. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye.